In war, rumors spread faster than bullets. And sometimes, a moment that looks monstrous from the outside hides a truth no one expected. This is the story of a U.S. soldier, a Japanese POW woman, and the shocking reason a single torn dress changed everything. The Pacific War was brutal, unforgiving, and filled with fear on both sides. When American troops advanced on a small village in Okinawa, they found terrified civilians hiding inside caves. Among them was a young Japanese woman, exhausted, dehydrated, and trembling, holding a torn flag she had carried since her family disappeared in the bombing. She didn't speak. She didn't resist. She simply lowered her head, expecting the worst. For years, Japanese propaganda had told civilians that American soldiers were monsters who would torture them. She believed every word. The Americans surrounded her, rifles raised, not out of cruelty, but because they didn't know who among the civilians might be armed. And as the dust settled, one soldier stepped forward. Private First Class Daniel Ford, a farm boy from Ohio, only 22 years old. He noticed something the others didn't. Her dress, or whatever remained of it, was soaked in blood. The fear everyone misunderstood. The woman was terrified of the soldiers. Every step they took, she flinched. Every loud command, she winced. Not because of anything the Americans did, but because of what she'd been told would happen if she ever surrendered. The U.S. soldiers weren't sure what wounded her. Shrapnel, a fall, a past beating, but the bleeding was spreading across the cloth, seeping through the fabric. Private Ford tried speaking softly. No response. He tried offering water. She refused, too scared to accept. Then a medic approached and whispered something to Ford. "She's losing blood fast. We need to treat her now." But there was a problem. Her dress, the only thing she had left, was tightly bound around the wound. Removing it meant touching the torn cloth pressed against her body. In her mind, that meant humiliation, shame, dishonor, everything Japanese propaganda had warned her about. And so when Ford reached for the cloth, she screamed. To the other soldiers who heard the scream, it looked exactly like the kind of nightmare rumor civilians feared. But the truth was far from what they imagined. The moment he tore the dress, Private Ford made a decision no one expected. He grabbed the top layer of her dress and tore it open with a single rip. Gasps went through the squad. Even the woman froze in shock. But then, everyone saw what Ford had seen. A piece of shrapnel, the size of a coin, embedded deep in her side, covered by the cloth, still bleeding heavily. The tear wasn't an assault. It wasn't humiliation. It wasn't dominance. It was an emergency act to remove the cloth that was trapping the metal shard and worsening the bleeding. Ford tore only the part covering the wound, turned away, and immediately told the medic, "Go, now, she doesn't have much time." The medic stepped in, placing bandages and removing the shrapnel as gently as possible. Ford kneeled beside her, shielding her with his body so other soldiers wouldn't stare. The woman slowly realized what had happened. Her breathing calmed. Her eyes, which moments earlier were full of terror, softened. She whispered her first word in English, "Arigato." What really shocked everyone, when word spread among the unit that Ford had torn a POW woman's dress, some soldiers rushed over, expecting a crime. Instead, they found a medic finishing a life-saving operation, Ford kneeling respectfully beside the survivor, the woman clutching his sleeve, not in fear, but gratitude. The platoon commander, after hearing what truly happened, ordered the squad to give the woman space, blankets, and medical supplies. Later that night, she asked the translator a single question. "Why did he help me? I was told Americans had no mercy." The translator answered, "He did help you, because not everything you were told was true." The shocking twist wasn't what he tore. It was why he tore it. A moment that looked like cruelty was actually an act of humanity.
and the woman survived because of it. 3 weeks later, she gave Ford something she had kept hidden during the war, a small, hand-sewn cloth charm meant to protect soldiers in battle. She placed it in his hands and bowed.
In war, even moments of mercy can be misunderstood. But history reminds us, not every action is what it appears. Sometimes the truth behind a torn dress is the difference between life and death.